Now I want you to practice initial vowel sounds using the Ezy Speech technique. These are vowels and examples of words beginning with a vowel sound. Repeat each word twice, slow in breath, and allow the airflow to continue after the sound ends. Don't forget to use the breath band. Yahoo. Yahoo.
Engine, engine,
Insect, insect,
object, object,
under, under, You have reached the point where you can now put this Ezy Speech technique into practice in a controlled way. I will now ask you to drop a number of syllables and words onto your airflow stream in a rhythmical and controlled manner. Firstly, I will ask you to maintain a rate of speech which is no greater than 50 syllables per minute. This is a slow and controlled rate and forms one of the foundation rates of the Ezy Speech technique. From an understanding of the system and plenty of practice at 50 syllables per minute, faster speeds can then be achieved. Mastering the skills at 50 syllables per minute leads to confidence in the technique and an understanding of how your new speech technique will work at higher speeds. Once you feel confident at 50 syllables per minute, we will move to 100 syllables per minute and then to 150 syllables per minute, a rate that is quite acceptable in everyday situations. It is important to mention now that you must be active in your participation in this course, not passive. What I mean is to follow the lead given by Ashlee and Stuart. Watch and listen to Ashlee and Stuart's technique. Although it may not be your turn to talk, I want you to breathe with Ashlee and Stuart and imagine you're saying their words with them. This activity will increase your ability to absorb the technique and imprint new methods in your brain more quickly. So remember, be active, not passive. Strive for perfection in the technique, as this is the main reason for practicing at a rate as slow as 50 syllables per minute. I will start the strobe in the top right of your screen whenever you are practicing. You will see a soft pulse of green light on your screen. This is provided as an aid to you while we are doing the exercises at 50 syllables per minute. Don't hesitate to use the pulse to help you stay at the correct rate. Firstly, I will ask you to count at 50 syllables per minute. On one in-breath, using the breath band correctly, count from 1 to 4, linking all of the sounds and dropping them onto continuous airflow. And of course, allowing the airflow to continue after the sound of 4. Take a second slow in-breath and repeat counting from 5 to 7. Follow the example on the screen. Remember that we are speaking by pronouncing syllables, with 7 being 2 syllables. So this is pronounced 7. I would like you all to count at 50 syllables per minute. Remember, slow in breath, 1 to 4, slow in breath, then 5 to 7. Repeat this 5 times. Ashlee and Stuart, you can count together. Don't forget to use your breath bands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. From now on, when we practice our Ezy Speech foundation rates, I will ask you not only to count, but to also use positive mantras, which can take the place of simply counting. A mantra is basically a positive phrase or group of phrases that you can use when practicing. These will be important following the course and when you are using exercises to strengthen and maintain your technique. Remember the technique: slow in breath, phrase, pause, phrase, and pause. This is rhythmical breathing with no breaks in airflow. Sounds are linked together by a thread of airflow. Give equal time to the pause as you do to the phrase. Don't forget, the pause is the slow diaphragmatic in-breath and is one of the most important parts of Ezy Speech. You are wearing the breath band? Don't forget to use it. When speaking at 50 syllables per minute, I encourage no more than 4 to 6 syllables per breath, which is equivalent to about 3 to 4 seconds of speech. Follow this by 3 to 4 seconds of slow in-breath. Follow the example on the screen. Repeat this mantra 3 times, please. I am fluent when I use perfect practice.
I am fluent when I use perfect practice. I am fluent when I use perfect practice.
From this point, I want all speech to be at 50 syllables per minute for the rest of this session, including during any meal breaks you may have and any conversation with others in your environment. By maintaining your speech rate at this slower foundation rate, you are effectively retraining the brain to think fluent. This is where individual self-control is required. For example, if someone comes into the room during this session or any other time during this course, then it is up to you to use the technique you have learnt. Do not use your usual spontaneous speech. No spontaneous speech. Do not fall into the trap of reacting to someone asking you a question and responding quickly in your old ways. Spontaneous speech is a trap for anyone trying to adopt new speech techniques. Use precise technique and rise to the challenge now. If a parent or friend knocks on the door and asks you what you want for lunch or any other question for that matter, how do you respond? With technique. That's how. Always respond with technique. Using the technique you have now learnt, I will ask you to deliver a monologue. A monologue is simply whatever you would like to talk about. However, your first monologues will simply be reading the animated phrases that will appear on the screen. Remember, use all the aids and skills that you now have. I will ask you, Stuart, to read the monologue at 50 syllables per minute.
Ezy Speech has helped me maintain my fluency. It has side, situations.
Don't forget to phrase, pause. The technique is rhythmical and gives each syllable equal time and airflow. Now your turn, and don't forget to repeat this important foundation step as many times as necessary to feel confident with the technique. Once you complete reading this monologue, repeat it if you desire, or practice delivering your own monologues about any topic you are interested in. Look, listen and learn from observing Stuart and Ashlee, and modify your technique where necessary. If you are not confident at 50 syllables per minute, I would recommend that you complete the 50 syllable per minute segment once again, or until you are comfortable with your technique. You should not have any stuttery feelings at 50 syllables per minute if you are using the system correctly. If you don't have any friends or family with you, find someone you know and try out the technique either during the course or as soon as you can after the completion of the course. Remember, use all the skills you have learnt. You can even wear the breath band under your shirt so that it still gives you that reminder to use the important diaphragmatic breathing. If you feel like it, have a short break and rejoin the course when you are ready. To summarise, remember to use diaphragmatic breathing. It is your motor and provides the fuel for your technique. Use a slow in-breath before speaking. Try not to be too monotone and use inflection in your voice, even at this slow rate. Remember, 50 syllables per minute is one of the foundation rates of the Ezy Speech technique. A rock-solid foundation is the only thing on which to build your new fluent speech, so practice this rate until you can do it at will. If you are happy to continue on, we will now speed up a little more and move up to 100 syllables per minute. This seems much faster than 50 syllables per minute, and although you must use the same routines, you can put more personality into the rate, use more inflection and cover more information. People always seem to be happier when they move up to faster rates, but don't be too eager. Unless you have a good handle on the technique at 50 syllables per minute, don't go on to 100 syllables per minute, because any problems or slight inaccuracies will only escalate and become very obvious. Remember, you can repeat any segment at any time.